It was a night that would forever be etched in the annals of crime history. A night so horrifying, so brutal, that it sent shockwaves through the community and left investigators grappling with the sheer audacity and cruelty of the act. This is the story of one of the most vicious attacks ever captured on surveillance, a crime so heinous that it defies comprehension. It's a tale of a convenience store clerk, a heartless killer, and a series of events so chilling that they seem ripped straight from a horror movie. But this was no movie. This was real life. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for in-depth coverage of true crime, unsolved mysteries, and the dark side of history. The scene was a quiet convenience store in Georgia, the kind of place where locals stop by for a late-night snack or a quick purchase. The time was just past midnight, and the store was bathed in the eerie glow of fluorescent lights. Behind the counter stood DK Chowdhury, a hard-working clerk who had no idea that his life was about to be brutally cut short. Little did he know, the security cameras positioned around the store would capture every horrifying moment of his final minutes. The attack began without warning. A figure entered the store, and within seconds, chaos erupted. The assailant, later identified as Skye Mimms, launched a ferocious assault on Chowdhury, overpowering him with shocking ease. The surveillance footage, recorded from multiple angles, shows the clerk being shoved into a storage area, his cries for help muffled by the cold, calculated actions of his attacker. Mimms, a striking 22-year-old with dreams of fame and fortune, showed no mercy. She duct-taped Chowdhury's mouth shut, then covered his nose, silencing his last breaths. The medical examiner would later testify that Chowdhury had no chance of survival. The blood loss was too severe, too rapid. Within minutes, he was gone. But the horror didn't end there. As Chowdhury lay lifeless in the back room, Mimms moved with chilling efficiency. She darted between the storage area and the front counter, her actions a grotesque dance of violence and greed. At one point, she even interacted with customers, calmly telling them to leave the store. Unaware of the brutality unfolding just feet away, the confused patrons complied, exiting the store and driving off into the night. With the coast clear, Mimms turned her attention to the cash register and the safe, her eyes gleaming with avarice. She stole a roll of $500 a week for life, scratch-off lottery tickets, a prize she believed would secure her financial future. Returning to the back room one final time, she stuffed her loot into a bag, placing it next to Chowdhury's lifeless body before making her escape. Moments later, another customer entered the store. He noticed something amiss: money scattered on the floor behind the register. His curiosity turned to horror when he ventured into the back room and discovered Chowdhury's body. Without touching anything, he immediately called 911. "I just walked into the store and saw change on the floor," he told the dispatcher. "It looks like we've been robbed. There's blood everywhere, and the clerk is down. I didn't get too close, but it's bad." The dispatcher urged him to check on the victim, but it was clear, even from a distance, that Chowdhury was beyond help. The scene was a nightmare. Blood pooled on the floor, the air thick with the stench of death. When police arrived, they were confronted with a crime scene that was as baffling as it was brutal. The surveillance footage provided a clear view of the attack, but it offered no immediate clues about the killer's identity. Investigators were left grappling with a series of unsettling questions. Was this a random robbery gone wrong, or was the killer someone the victim knew? Was the robbery a smokescreen designed to throw investigators off the trail? The brutality of the attack suggested a personal motive, but the evidence pointed to a cold, calculated theft. Then came the break investigators had been hoping for. Next to Chowdhury's body, they found a cell phone. At first, they assumed it belonged to the victim, but a quick examination revealed otherwise. The phone didn't belong to Chowdhury, it belonged to the killer. In her haste, Mimms had dropped a crucial piece of evidence. Investigators accessed the phone's stored photos and were stunned by what they found. The menacing figure captured in the surveillance footage, a 6'2" assailant who had overpowered Chowdhury with terrifying ease, was not a man, but a woman. And not just any woman, but Skye Mimms, a 22-year-old aspiring model, dancer and rapper with dreams of stardom. The discovery of the phone marked a turning point in the investigation. A forensic examination of the device revealed a treasure trove of evidence, including photos, messages, and location data that placed Mimms at the scene of the crime. It didn't take long for law enforcement to track her down. Acting on a tip, the US Marshals Task Force set up surveillance on a house where Mimms was believed to be hiding. When they moved in to make the arrest, they were met with a scene straight out of a crime thriller. Mimms, naked and agitated, stood at the top of a staircase, screaming at the officers to shoot her. "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me," she yelled, her voice echoing through the house. The officers, trained to handle volatile situations, managed to subdue her, but the drama didn't end there. As Mimms was being escorted to a patrol car, handcuffed and wrapped in a blanket, she somehow managed to slip out of her restraints. "Drop! Don't move!" they commanded, finally securing her with leg shackles. Even then, Mimms remained defiant, mouthing off to the officers and refusing to cooperate. Her behavior during interrogation was equally bizarre. At times, she seemed amused, laughing and giggling as investigators pressed her for answers. As the investigation progressed, the evidence against Mimms continued to mount. In addition to the surveillance footage and the cell phone, investigators found a knife with Chowdhury's blood on it, a roll of red duct tape matching the kind used to silence the victim, and dozens of the stolen lottery tickets. The pieces of the puzzle were coming together, painting a damning picture of a woman driven by greed and desperation. Mimms' trial was a spectacle in its own right. Her odd behavior continued unabated, with her blowing kisses to the courtroom, making gestures to her family, and even laughing during witness testimony. Her antics did little to endear her to the jury, and when the verdict was announced, it was swift and unequivocal. After just 5 days of testimony and less than an hour of deliberation, the jury found Mimms guilty on all 11 counts, including malice murder. As the judge pronounced the sentence, Mimms stood stone-faced, her earlier bravado replaced by a chilling silence. She was led away without so much as a glance back, her dreams of fame and fortune shattered by the weight of her own actions. In the end, the story of Skye Mimms is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the lengths to which some will go in pursuit of their desires. It's a story of betrayal, brutality, and ultimately, justice. But it's also a story of a life cut short, of a man who simply went to work one night and never came home. DK Chowdhury's death is a tragedy that will not be forgotten. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Until next time.